Hello everybody. In honor of keeping the community safe, and I know all of you out there are seeing a lot of exciting projects that are coming out, we definitely want to make sure that we're putting our ETH into the safest possible projects. So for that, in order to help you all and to help myself, I've built this template right here that has been really useful in gauging the potential and value and opportunity in different projects, and I'm going to give you this template for free. So if you check out the description of this video or you're on Expand, you can find a link to access and use this template yourself. You'll see that it's empty. I kept my scores out for now. Probably next week I'll release a video showing my scores, but before even giving you any bias, I want to walk you through this. I want to show you how this can be used, and hopefully you'll go through and you'll make your own decisions on how some of these projects that I've listed or other projects you're looking at, how beneficial they might be to your portfolio. So it's pretty basic, and shout out to Internaut who actually put me on to this approach to gauging the value of projects. It's simple enough and it doesn't take so much time. So if you're not a day trader, you can't spend all day working on a spreadsheet. This is a great way. So just as you go and you discover these projects, you can quickly fill in information. Number one, of course, the first thing we look for is community size. So you're going to want to look at what's the size of their community on Discord, on Twitter, and you're going to give 1 point for each 1,000 followers or members of their community they have on those platforms. And of course, feel free to add to this template as well. Like, this is not a set in stone. This is just where I start when I go to look at these projects. This is how I'm looking at things, and this is how I'm evaluating the opportunity. Next, of course, you want to look at the team. Are these people who are vets? You know, do they have 2 or 3 vets from the space coming in on one project, or is this a group of noobs? You know, all respect to the noobs. I'm a noob. I will probably always be a noob. So but there's value in experience. So you're gonna want to definitely look at their team size, and of course, how many members on their team, how many people are part of the group behind this vision. Of course, we look at IP ownership. A lot of projects like Fluff World or I believe Warriors Aradina, a lot of these projects, they actually give you IP ownership of the characters in these PFP, known as profile picture NFT projects, where they have 10,000 generative versions of Bunny Rabbit, and if you own it, you have the commercial licensing rights to utilize that image. Crypto avatars, I think that's a huge value, so that's something I look for. We also have NFT utility. So what kind of things can you do or accomplish with this? Is this going to unlock other opportunities like access to airdrops, access to special places in the metaverse like MetaKey? Give 1 point for each one of those use cases. And it's important to note that here we have a scale 1 to 10 on the IP ownership. And that really is based on, you know, is it like a small limited amount of ownership, like you have the rights, partial rights, or is it complete ownership? That is definitely, you know, a spectrum there. So, you know, you kind of have to use your best educated guess based on what you can find out about the IP ownership terms on that. Volume traded. What's the liquidity of this project? Is there only 1 ETH that's been traded to this point? Is there 2 ETH traded to this point? 1 point for each amount. For me, I feel like that shows liquidity. That shows that there's a lot of people who validate the impressions that we might have on the project, whether or not it's, you know, also a positive thing is a thing if it doesn't have that much volume traded. Maybe that's the kind of project that you're looking at. As I said, you can use this template however you want. Maybe you score more points for less volume traded because you're looking for projects that have that still have a lot of upward opportunity. Are the people on this team anonymous? Are they real people? I value that a lot. If somebody's putting their identity out there, if they're saying, hey, here I am, here's something I'm creating, they can't just rug and disappear and not feel the repercussions of that. So definitely 10 points if they're a real person. 2 points for every successful ongoing project, 1 point for closed projects. So if somebody has something that they've closed, there's definitely a lot of value in success. Some people, rag on people who've had previous projects that didn't pan out, but I think there's a lot of value in that. So I still give some points for that. At the same time, 2 points for every successful ongoing project. If somebody has other projects that are doing well, they can leverage those relationships and that success into other projects, and that has a lot of value. 10 points for being first to market. Is there anything else like this on the market? If not, then there's a huge value in that. Of course, you count it up. You see how much the total score is, and you weigh out your opportunities. 3 strikes, you're out. If you see red flags, do not deny them. Everything can look good here, but if there's shady behavior, if there's things that you can't deny, listen. For me, it's 3 strikes, you're out. If there's things that I find that don't connect or are negative, like for instance, even just being anonymous for me might just be a red flag. So for me, 3 strikes, and I kind of have to move forward because the room for error is very small. I hope this spreadsheet helps you figure out what projects you want to get involved in. Next week, I'm going to drop another video going through how I score these different projects. So MetaKey, Warriors of Aradina, Fluff World, World of Women, Crypto Avatars, Mechaverse, Void. Those are some of my top looks right now. And I'll come back with you a week later and I'll tell you how I feel about it. Why don't you go ahead and score some of these points and throw your thoughts right in the comments. Make sure to subscribe and like the channel and throw in the comments what you scored for some of these projects. I'd be curious to know. All right, y'all. Peace out. I'll see you at the stream.